Did you know that SHRM follows a consistent structure when they're writing the situational judgment questions? Now, of course, the scenarios are different, but the blueprint is always the same. And knowing this structure gives you an advantage because it allows you to anticipate the response that they're looking for before you even read the answer choices. That's what I'm walking you through today. I'm going to give you that blueprint that SHRM uses to write the questions. I'm going to show you how they structure them. I'm going to show you the traps that they use and the phrases that tell you what's being tested. I'm Angela Murray, SHRM SCP, SPHR, and your favorite HR coach. Every SHRM situational question starts with a realistic HR challenge that could happen in any workplace. These problems are broad enough that there isn't one obviously right answer, but they give you multiple reasonable approaches that all sound right. The wording forces you to interpret the details rather than rely on black and white policy enforcement. And all of that is by design because it forces you to think strategically. Here's an example. A manager informs HR that an employee has been consistently late and is causing disruption in the department. The manager expresses frustration and wants immediate action. What should HR do? Now, this is a typical SHRM question because it gives you a realistic problem that could happen in any organization, and it presents the problem with an emotional pressure. The manager is frustrated and they want immediate action. SHRM often includes these emotional cues to see if you'll react impulsively or if you'll stick to strategic thinking. And it gives you vague details, right? The person is consistently late. What is consistently? How long? Is there a pattern? And that's because SHRM is testing whether you understand the need to ask for more information before you just jump to a decision. Then it tempts you to take administrative action right away. The way that this one is worded pushes you toward discipline, but you need to think beyond just immediate problem solving. Another thing that you will see in a situational question is there will always be details in that question that don't matter. There are specifically things in there that make you second guess yourself, right? So let's look at this question again. The manager informs HR that an employee has been consistently late and is causing disruption in the department. The manager has expressed frustration and wants immediate action. What should HR do? See, that phrase, frustration, is a distractor. It is meant to make you feel the pressure and urgency. You need to determine if this is really urgent. And if it is, what is the impact? And then that phrase wants immediate action. It tempts you to skip over your need for fact gathering and go straight to discipline. The term causing disruption, it's also vague because what is disruption? What is happening? How is it affecting the team? You really need more details before you make any kind of judgment. So that's why it's important to not answer a question too quickly. You need to consider all the angles. Don't let those emotional cues push you to do something without having all of the information. Distractors are even louder sometimes. And sometimes they can really make you second guess yourself. Let's look at this question. A regional HR director is reviewing turnover data and notices that a significant number of high-performing employees have resigned within the past 6 months. The company recently implemented a new performance management system, and some employees have reported dissatisfaction with how performance ratings are assigned. At the same time, exit interviews indicate that employees are leaving due to limited career growth opportunities. Senior leadership has requested an urgent solution to stop turnover. What should HR do first? Now, first, let's look at the distractors. The first one is kind of tricky. The question says that employees are dissatisfied with how performance ratings are assigned. This sounds like an issue, but it's really just a complaint. Right? It's not a proven cause of turnover just yet. Distractor 2, the phrase senior leadership has requested an urgent solution. There's that pressure, right? It is trying to push you into choosing an answer. Distractor 3, exit interviews mention limited career growth opportunities as the reason for the turnover. Now, this one really does sound like it could be right because developing career development programs does seem like, logical HR thing to do. But this answer is jumping straight into a solution without validating if the career growth is the cause of the turnover. I mean, what if it has nothing to do with that and you implement something and nothing happens? Right? So you have to be careful because distractors are in almost every situational question. Sometimes they're obvious, sometimes they're a little more subtle, like D. But keep in mind, SHRM exam questions are never just about tactical work. Every question tests strategic application of a competency, even when it looks like just a simple problem. The challenge is that SHRM is not going to outright tell you the competency. So that forces you to think strategically. And that's the goal, right? So this is why the questions are structured like this. That is the goal. Let's look at another question. A manager reports that an employee has been underperforming. The manager has already documented performance issues and now wants to terminate the employee. What should HR do first? Now, at first glance, this looks like a performance management question, but SHRM isn't testing if you know performance policies. In this question, they're testing your consultation skills and your analytical aptitude. They want to know if you can guide the manager to a strategic decision instead of just approving this termination. We're going to look at the answer choices to see which one guides us to either the consultation or the analytical aptitude or both. A says approve the termination since the manager has followed the performance management process. B says remind the manager of the company's progressive discipline policy and advise them to issue a final written warning. C says review the employee's performance records with the manager to understand their concerns and explore whether performance coaching is an option. D says advise the manager to place the employee on a I hate performance improvement plans, but it's not about me. And begin preparing for a replacement if performance does not improve. Now, at first glance, all of these sound like HR decisions. But here's the structure. A is reactive. It jumps straight into a decision without critical thinking. B focuses on policy. D assumes what the next step should be instead of analyzing this situation as a whole. So the correct answer is C because it is consultative and it is strategic. It gathers more information before making a decision, and that's that analytical aptitude at work. It involves the manager in the process instead of just dictating a next step on our own. That's consultation. It focuses on the root cause, not just the immediate problem. And of course, that's business acumen, right? So hopefully, now that you've seen how SHRM structures their questions, you'll know how to answer them. First, you need to identify the setup. Like, what is the core HR issue being presented? What distractions are thrown in there just to throw you off and make you second guess yourself? Then find the competency that's being tested. This is a test of your consultation or your leadership or your analytical aptitude or something. If you know the competency, you can narrow the answer down better. Then eliminate the reactive answers. Any choice that jumps straight into policy enforcement or some kind of discipline without understanding the problem is wrong. Pick the answer that aligns HR with business strategy. The best choice will involve collaboration, problem solving, advising, leadership, or something. Hopefully, this gives you a new way to think about the questions. Hopefully, you won't second guess yourself too much. If it did, let me know in the comments. If it didn't, don't let me know. Just kidding. Even if it didn't, let me know that in the comments as well, because really, this is how I evaluate whether or not I'm giving you what you need. So any comments are welcome. I read them all. And also, I meant to ask you guys, are you ready for another resource review? Because I've been getting a lot of questions about what resources you should use and how you should get started. So I'm thinking about composing another video, and I have some exciting things that are happening with the HR exam prep with Angela system. So I do want to share those with you as well. Many of you I've already shared them with. But let me know that in the comments as well. I think it's probably time for me to spin the block on that, but I don't know. You let me know. Anyhow, I will see you guys next time. Bye.